Do women actually respect men who chase them? Now, there's a right way and a wrong way to go about chasing a woman, because the first thing to understand is that you can actually pursue a girl without it be considered chasing, right? You will have to, in my opinion, as a man, you're going to have to go after what you want. Like, I've approached a lot of women over the years and got a lot of these women. Obviously, I've been rejected and I've shot my shot and it didn't go well, and that's okay. But you could argue, oh, well, he's chasing, right? And I want to explain to you guys what to do versus what not to do when it comes to this idea. Because if you don't actually go after what you want, are you actually a real man? Honestly, the guys that just sit home that are afraid to go after what they want and they just maybe swiping online hoping to get lucky, or they wait for the women to come to them. I mean, dude, you're going to be stuck with a very small percentage of the total possibility, the total potential of what you could actually have in your life. And in my opinion, the most attractive women are not just going to come up to you unless you are really top 0.001%. I was watching this dude the other day. These women are just like flocking to him because he's so tall and good looking. That's just not us. We're going to have to go after what we want. We're going to have to, quote unquote, chase. And there is a way you could do this that women still respect you. So as I get into this, if you're somebody who's not dating at all right now, you're not approaching at all right now, you don't have quality women in your life, you've been watching content, but your life isn't actually changing, I'd love to help you make that transformation. Watching content's great. It's not, that alone is not going to do it though. If you want to work with me directly for the accountability, the support, the coaching, and the structure you need to actually make a progression here, click the link down below and apply to work with me directly. You could type in your information. We'll contact you to discuss more details about how I can actually help you transform your dating life. So let's talk about which type of men do women respect versus they don't respect when it comes to chasing. Now, let's talk about what you probably think as chasing. And that's going to be, you invite a girl out, or you start messaging a girl, maybe she even texts you back, and then you invite her out and then she stops responding, right? Or you're in a conversation with her. Just the nature of the conversation, the way that you phrase the sentences in the conversation can be labeled as chasing. Right? A guy that is skilled with his conversation, the phrases that he says won't sound like chasing. I'll give you an example. These are a couple different examples of how you could ask a girl out. I'd really hope if you could come sometime. Or maybe if you're free at some point, if it's not too much of a burden, or I don't know if you're busy with other plans, I'd really like it if maybe one day, if you're not too busy, you could come do this thing. I'm just throwing a bunch of different phrases out, but you can see how all of those things are really pushy. They're making it sound like they're intruding. They're hoping that maybe by God's grace, she could bless them with their presence at some point. Right? And that's how most guys interact. They're apologetic. They're not confident. They're shaky with their voice. They're sub-communicating that they're kind of like begging or hoping that the girl comes out with them. Versus, let's just look at the opposite side. You're already talking about something that's going on that's going to be fucking lit, and you're like, yo, you should join in if you want to come. It's going to be fucking popping. Do you see the difference there? Just off of that, we're not even talking about like how many messages you should send to the girl and what to do if she ignores you. I'm literally talking about the actual phrasing of you inviting the woman. Just the nature of the phrasing can actually dictate whether or not you're chasing. Now, yes, if you text her, if you triple text her after she leaves you on red each time, you're chasing, right? I think that's probably what you guys think of as chasing is like, well, yeah, if I text her and she left me on red, I wait 2 days and I text her again. And if she doesn't answer that, then I wait a week and I send this picture. Okay, yeah. I mean, look, dude, all of that shit is you chasing the woman too. You sending quadruple text, that's chasing. But that shit's obvious, dude. Like, look, if you invite her out and then she doesn't respond, or you guys made a date and then she flakes and then she doesn't try to reschedule, she's got low interest in you, bro. That's really what it comes down to. In those cases, just recognize she's got low interest and it's probably not worth just constantly texting her and keep sending these invites. Like the way that I don't want you guys to chase is a way in which you break character as a means of trying to get the woman. Now, I don't think that approaching a woman is breaking character. There's a lot of guys out there that view that as breaking character. Oh, she wasn't showing you interest and you're going up to her, you're pedestalizing her. I don't know why I wouldn't with a really deep voice there, but this is how these guys talk, right? That is not pedestalizing. That is simply going after to check out something that you're potentially interested in. The same way that if I walked into Zara and I saw on the mannequin, yo, that shirt looks fly. Let me go check it out. I want to try it on to see if it's a good fit. Is that me fucking chasing? No, that's me saying, hey, I'm curious about this thing. Right? So you can chase from a frame of curiosity. That's to simply put it, you can chase from a frame of curiosity. Now, the problem though is that you try to force this thing when there clearly isn't interest being reciprocated. So if I go up and approach, I can say, I thought you had a really interesting look. I wanted to come meet you really quick. Right? Especially in that demeanor. Like if you have a demeanor of like, it's not a big deal. I was just kind of curious. You know, I saw you walking by. Thought you looked interesting. Thought you looked cute. Thought you had a unique look. I liked your look. I liked blank about you. And I wanted to come meet you really quick. I wanted to say hi. I wanted to see how your day's going. Whatever the thing is, that is actually pretty low key. There are some women that are going to reject you off of that. But guys, there are a lot of women that won't. If you can do that and it's not a big deal to you and you're just pursuing because you're curious, you can get into conversations this way. I have clients, it really comes down to the subtleties. I have clients that have never approached before. And in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks, we're getting them confident doing direct opens and transitioning off of the open to have 1 to 2 minutes of conversation. We're talking about weeks. Nothing changed in their look. Nothing changed in their appearance. It was simply the phrasing, the nonverbals, the delivery, the vibe, the confidence around the initial approach. Okay, and this, I don't want to make this whole video about the open itself when it comes to approaching, but just understand that a woman will respect you as long as you don't over pedestalize or break character, right? So I can confidently interact with women. I can have conversations. I can be curious to get to know the girl without making it a big deal. And I can invite her out from a confident place. Like that is not fucking chasing. When you break character, you start chasing. Breaking character would be like, hey, we said we were going to we were going to hang out Saturday. And then Saturday, she's like, hey, I don't know if I can make it. And then let's say she's like, maybe we could do another day. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm free like Monday or Wednesday. Let me know if that works. And then she just like doesn't answer. Dude, if she was the one that canceled okay, maybe she's trying to reschedule, but then like I have to keep texting and reopening, just understand that like that is, in my opinion, just over pursuing. Over pursuing is really like the bad form of chasing. As I'm, kind of spelling this out, I'm thinking out loud as I'm making this video, but it's when you over pursue. As the man, I think naturally you're going to need to take the first step, whether that's you messaging her online, you DMing her on Instagram, you going up to her in a nighttime environment, you seeing her in your day-to-day, and you make the initial approach. Is that a chase? Yeah, we could label that as chasing. Can a girl still respect you just because you made a confident approach? Fuck yeah, there's still a lot of respect there. The moment you start simping or begging or pleading or nervous or anxiety or unconfident or uncertainty though, during that pursue, it starts to come from a weak frame. Women respect a very strong frame. That's what it is. A strong frame will command respect. A weak frame, people don't respect that. That's really what it comes down to. And that comes off in your nonverbal communication, which I talked about earlier, like not making it a big deal with your voice, not being anxious, being able to. Dude, most attractive women, if you could just approach them confidently and stay calm, you've already separated yourself from most men, I swear to God. Most really attractive women, they don't get approached in the broad daylight from a guy that's cool and calm and confident. They either get catcalled or the creepy dude goes up to him or the drunk dude goes up to him. It's just pretty rare if she's actually that attractive. The girls that are like semi-attractive, those girls get approached the most because they're cute and they're not intimidatingly hot and they get approached a lot more. And then the ugly girls, no offense, but not many guys are going up to them either, right? But if you could be the dude who actually goes up cool, calm, confident with a good frame, which takes practice, you're gonna have to build this skill set up to get to that point. But if you could be that guy, you can command respect. The moment you start caving on these things and begging and pleading and double texting, triple texting, yeah, you're gonna start to lose respect. And obviously there is more subtleties to this when it comes to actual dating. This video was more on the front end because I think of chasing and pursuing typically on the front end. That's like on the initial approach, that's in the phrasing of the conversation, the words leading up to the first date, and it's also in the DMs and the texting, right? So if you're not phrasing things from a place of sounding weak as fuck, and you're not quadruple texting, and you can recognize when there's at least moderate interest to high interest and knowing when to move things forward, knowing when to chill out, you could be in a great place with this. But short answer is yes, you can 100% chase and still command respect. The moment you start over chasing and compromising your character in your frame, you start to lose respect. That's really the simple version. I had to elongate it to kind of like drill it into your brain. And obviously there's even more subtle nuance to this as we get into dating. But if you're somebody who's not really approaching right now, if you're getting friend zoned by women, if women don't respect you, if you're tired of chasing or you're just doing this the wrong way, or maybe you're not talking to any women at all, you're literally just watching content and your dating life and your social confidence has not changed, let's do something about this, okay? Click the link down below, fill out the application for an opportunity to work with me directly. We'll reach out to you. We can have a discussion about what your situation looks like and how you could actually work with me directly to increase your social confidence, have an abundant dating life, and actually land a quality woman that respects you. All right, click the link down below. That's all for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.